Hey y'all, welcome to episode 13 of my daily vlog to launching my branding and marketing program. My name's Anne Marie, and I've been a branding and marketing strategist for the past 10 years. In between that, I also was an advertising planner and strategist both in China and the US. In between all that, I did consulting for small businesses, and I am taking that entire process that I've designed and bringing it to you online in the form of a course so that everybody has access to it. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about, so I've been going round and round with this email marketing thing and why people who would go to my website and sign up through the forms that I have on there, why they would not get my automatic welcome email with the free download. I have 3 cheat sheets on my website that I just want to give people in exchange for signing up. So a couple things. I use MailChimp as my email software, email marketing software, and then my website was built on Squarespace, and I'm hosting my domain, where I bought the domain, on HostGator. So there's a lot of moving pieces, but I'm going to try to explain everything because I think I'm getting towards a solution. I'm not completely there, but just going to give you an update on what's going on. So in MailChimp, you have 2 options to send an automated welcome email. In MailChimp, you have lists where you make a list where all of the contacts will be added to, and then from there, you can send that list emails. Just, cool stuff that's coming out, newsletters, things like that. So that's the list. And then there's the email campaign. So these are 2 different things. Again, the list you just create so that contacts are slotted in there. Then the email campaign, you make the email and then you put triggers in it, which basically is saying, I want this email to go out immediately to any new subscriber that signs up through my Squarespace form. They're added to my list. Whoever's added to my list, I want them to get an automatic welcome email. And so each cheat sheet has its own list because I want to give them, there's 3 different cheat sheets, so I don't want them to get the same exact email. So for each cheat sheet, there's a list. So let's say cheat sheet 1 list, cheat sheet 2 list, cheat sheet 3 list. Try to say that 5 times fast. And then so below that are email campaigns that are connected to it. That's one way to do it. So you have the list and then you make the email separately, but it's automated to send to whoever signs up through my Squarespace form to automatically get that cheat sheet, that free download. That's one way. Squarespace also has, within that list, so let's say you have 1, 2, 3, they have the 3 lists, there you can create a form, and I know this sounds really complicated and weird, but just follow me for a second. Within that list, you have settings, and you have how you basically want the list to populate itself. Within that list, you can create a form that basically attaches to itself. So you don't even have to make an email to be automated, to be sent to whoever is added to that list. The list has a form basically connected to it, and anytime somebody's added to the list, they should be getting that form. Both the form, they call them forms, and the email campaign can have the exact same content. And that's where it gets a little bit weird and wonky because you can basically build the same exact welcome message on a form with just a big area of text or an email, which looks like a normal email. So I've been troubleshooting all of this, and for one reason or another, every time I was troubleshooting, nobody was getting the email. So I was first starting with that option of the list with the connected form onto it. This morning I tried troubleshooting the list plus the automated email connection. So when I was troubleshooting this morning, I got both. Now here's what was weird about it. First of all, I got it, which I haven't been receiving it for days, and I don't know what's going on today that makes it any different. That's still a mystery to me. But with the form, so when I was talking about that list that has the attached form that automatically sends, in order for somebody to receive that form or that welcome message through the list standing alone, not the email connected one, they have to opt in twice. And this can either be used as a security measure or it has to be used for certain lists that you build in MailChimp. And basically that means like somebody goes on to my Squarespace, they fill out the form to receive the free download. They get an email in their inbox saying, hey, we want you to double confirm that you signed up for this list. They double confirm by clicking on a simple button. It's not complicated. And then they get the email. They get that welcome message with the link to the free download. That one landed directly in my main inbox. The second one, where they sign up on the form, their contact goes into a list, and that list is sent an automated email that was created separately and sent to that contact. That email landed in my spam box, which I want to avoid because, let's be honest, who checks their spam box these days? And I mean, I can put a notification that after they fill out the form, they say, hey, by the way, check your spam box. It might be there. So when I was talking to MailChimp support, I was like, why is this happening? And they were like, well, part of it could be because you have not added the MailChimp, and I'm going to get really nerdy with you here, so bear with me, the CNAME, and the TXT, and all of this has to do with DNS settings in your website. Basically, it's how you link multiple marketing softwares to your website. He was like, you're going to want to add our CNAME and the TXT to your DNS settings, because right now, when you send an email from a list in MailChimp, because it's not connected to your domain, it's going to be sending from MailChimp's server and not your server. Therefore, it could be sent, since it's not leaving from your domain, it could be shuffling into spam. So I spent all morning connecting the MailChimp CNAME and TXT to my, what they call cPanel, which is where you manage all of your IP addresses and DNS settings and stuff like that. That's where you manage all of this. If you are hosting your website on the website builder, so for example, Squarespace, you can host your domain on Squarespace. Wix, you can host your domain on Wix. I chose HostGator mainly because I didn't know what I didn't know what I was doing, and I am a firm believer that if you don't know what you're doing and you're not familiar with this stuff, you observe the people in your field who are just really successful and see what they use, because they're using it for a reason. A lot of people I know use HostGator to host their domains. That being said, I had to go into my cPanel in HostGator, because that's where I bought my domain, and slot in, and it's very easy to do. You just copy and paste the TXT information, then you copy and paste the CNAME information from whatever your email server is. In this case, it's MailChimp for me, and then you put it into your cPanel, again, where you manage all of this information, where you're linking everything up to your domain, and it's been updating. Now, there was something about the link that MailChimp gave me that the minute I did that, my website went down. It's still down right now. Like, you cannot access it when you type in my website address. And that was because there was something weird going on there. And so I was talking to them at the same time in two different chat boxes. I was talking to a HostGator support person and Squarespace. I ended up figuring out that's where I figured out they gave me the something about it isn't working. Again, I'm not a pro at this. I don't understand it, but I ended up taking the one that that one of the support people gave me, and I put it in. The thing that sucks about this is that it takes 4 to 8 hours for you to know if it's working. So it's not like you can like troubleshoot it immediately and know and get your website up. So it's still down. I'm just waiting for all these things to populate, and hopefully it's going to work. And hopefully, and again, going back to, I hope that this will solve the issue of, I just want to get those emails in their main inboxes and not in spam, because I want it to send from my domain and not from MailChimp's servers. So, another thing, if you are using Squarespace, so I wrote this down because it was a little bit complicated, because when I was talking to HostGator, they're like, why do you have 4 IP addresses? You only need 1. Delete the 3 and just use this single one. That makes sense for, I guess, most websites, but Squarespace is special in that you do really need 4 IP addresses, and they're very specific about that. And if they are not 100% correct, your website will also be down. Now, it was fine the way it was, but I didn't know that, so I took HostGator's advice. I deleted everything, and I stuck to 1 IP address, which was a mistake. And so when I was talking to Squarespace, they're like, no, put them back in. You need them. And so while Squarespace does not use, what I'm reading what they were saying, they don't use name server and a single A record, which seems to be the norm. Instead, they use 4 IP addresses. Don't know why. It's just the way it is. And so, yeah, that is what has been going on today. It's been, it is a little bit stressful to have my website down. I'm glad that everything isn't launched yet, because if it was, this would be directly messing with my ability to generate revenue. So I'm just glad I'm going through this now, and I'm not going through it after I've launched, because that would be bad news. Also, got my P.O. box, went back for the 3rd time to the post office, and what they ended up doing is they didn't even want to deal with correcting whatever the issue was in their system. They canceled my original order from online, basically refunded me. I gave them that same money back to them, and they signed me up for a brand new P.O. box. So, moral of the story, and they told me I was not the only one having this issue. So, if you want to 100% sidestep this, just go directly to your local post office and sign up for it there. Don't trust the online system. It just doesn't work. At least it didn't work for me. And it hasn't been working for many people from what they have told me. So, got my P.O. box. Now my P.O. box is the address for all my email footers. So, that's done. Also, if you are looking to give an automatic welcome message to anybody who signs up through a form on your Squarespace, there is a second option that you can do. If you don't have MailChimp, you can use. Hold on, let me see what this is called. Okay, Wufoo, WUFOO. That is a form builder that supposedly plays well with Squarespace, in that you make the form in Wufoo. And when I'm saying form, I'm saying like where people input their name and email to subscribe to your list to get the free download and stuff like that. You make the form on Wufoo, you take their code that is the form, and you enter it into Squarespace, the form that you have, and you just input it into there so that when people click on the button, the Wufoo form pops up, and they input the information. their information, and you can still link MailChimp. So let's say you have MailChimp and you want to still capture that email and put it into your list to where MailChimp serves as a true storage option, so that in the future, if you have really exciting email campaigns to come out, you can apply it to anybody who's ever signed up for something, which is cool. So MailChimp still serves its purpose even if they can't get you an automated welcome message. You're still capturing and storing those really valuable contacts for future email campaigns or offers or promotions or whatever. So you use the Woofu form, they sign up, and then within Woofu, they will automatically send you an email where you can put, or like a welcome message, they call them form attachments, I believe, and where you can put the address to the free download, and they'll get it immediately. Now, I am experimenting with this because I honestly just want something that's tried and true that won't be weird and finicky the way MailChimp has been. So I'm working with it now. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's not as customizable as emails from MailChimp, so they don't look as good. They don't look as professional. You can't embed links into it, so you have to give them the full drawn-out link to download the form, which aesthetically just looks weird. I don't like it. Looks unprofessional to me. So I'm working with it. I don't know if I'm going to keep it. But it's another option. Another thing that I'm not crazy about regarding this is that let's say they get the automatic download, they get that message, and then anything after that they receive from me is going to be from MailChimp because, again, I save that contact for future promotions. It's not going to look the same, if that makes sense. So the email template that I'm using in MailChimp is going to look a lot better, and they may be like, "What? Who's this from? I don't recognize this. It's weird. It's not." So, your first impression is basically what you need to stick with, because in like branding, like consistency is everything. And so, and I don't want them to accidentally unsubscribe just because it looks different. So, I don't know. Anyway, it's a little bit weird, but yeah, so all that is kind of like going on now. My website is still down, so I'm just waiting for it to come up. Well, I got to wait for 8 hours to see if it was successful, if these changes I've made have been successful. I am leaving this evening. I'm going to be traveling until the 13th, and therefore I have decided that I am not going to be doing any check-ins until I come back. So there's going to be a break. And I'll get right back on all of this. I'll be working, but I won't be doing check-ins because I won't be able to do that much. I won't be able to work as much. So it's going to be more maintenance stuff. So I hope you have a great, you enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend. And I'm going to hit the ground running on the 14th. And I'll check in with you then. Okay? Cool. See you later. Bye.